Welcome to you all to this, a successful and fulfilled life presentation by myself. We'll just wait a minute or so to allow the systems to connect everyone as I see various people joining. And welcome to all of you for joining me today to explore how to ensure you have both success and feel fulfilled in all aspects of your life. My thanks to Havanna for organizing this summit so that I can help guide you to use this period of transition to create the life you desire. In that sense, to be the leader of your tomorrow. A question to you: are any of you from outside Denmark? The lack of response suggests that you're all Danish. Thank you. As you've signed up for this summit, I presume you sense our lives are changing. Society is changing. Mother Earth is changing. The cosmos is changing. Everything in our lives is in transition. And that means that there is much going on that we just feel and respond to. It's not that we ourselves are changing, we are being changed by what is underway. And in particular, the cosmos, Mother Earth, is moving from the 2,000 odd years cycle of Pisces into that of Aquarius. This water sign has an energy, as its flow will be pushing us to release the identities we assumed in the Piscean age, to create ones that align with the energy of the new era. In particular, operating from a collaborative rather than competitive mindset, accepting and being connected to each other and the Creator. After all, studies of DNA have shown that we're only 7 original ones, which means there is an implication for our identity. We are all basically connected to each other. And that's not including the energy work that definitely says we're all connected to each other. Whether you like it or not, these themes are requiring all aspects of your life to be reborn. However, this requires us to first make space within each of us for the new to have room to land. Doing so is creating opportunities for each of us, which is why those who take action now will create success beyond their current dreams. Are there any specific aspects of your life you wish to change? I see some comments in the chat box about the limitations that you are experiencing. And thank you. My colleague Milo is monitoring this chat box. He will also be posting links I mentioned during this session. He will also answer any questions you may have. So what are we going to cover today? With systems that no longer serve us now restructuring as humanity evolves during this period of transition, many are finding it a challenge to even let themselves imagine creating a successful life. Others, hence why you are here today, know a little secret. There actually has never been a better moment than right now to create success and a fulfilled life you truly love. For most people, success is equated with money and their income and asset values. What they have not adjusted to is the change underway. We have left the age of Pisces and are now moving deeper into the age of Aquarius, which means we need to look for success in different ways. And after all, money is just an energy. It is not the be-all and end-all. A new paradigm of success and the steps to achieve it is emerging. Hence the need to be the creator of your tomorrow. To join a couple of Albert Einstein quotes, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. And that's the essence of what I see is underway in this era change. We need to adjust our own energies to be in alignment with what is in this age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius, we will create by the adjustments we make. So each of us will influence the matrix as a whole by the choices we make. Hence why the biggest challenge for many high achievers is what comes after their current success. They may have a sense their purpose is so much grander than what they are currently experiencing, feeling frustrated perhaps, being held back from what they sense is possible, yet do not know how to bring it into creation, for the old ways do not seem to work. It's both with regard to the creation, the growth, the establishment of a business, and the way in which actually we go about healing and adjusting ourselves. There are the old ways and there are new ways that are emerging. To me, one of the symbols of the old way to success was to create goals and then taking steps to achieve them. When being guided to write my first book, The 7 Secrets to Living in Harmony, one part expressed my view goals were limiting rather than exhilarating, rather than being creative. For they were too focused and so ignored what we all know, the only constant is change. Which is why for many, as soon as a plan is written, it's out of date. What we thought was the case has moved on, and this is very much the case at the moment. True success comes from creating unshakable inner foundations upon which it can be built. Without those, it's built on shifting sands. Mother Earth, the cosmos, your guides, and the Creator are all ready to support you living true success now. This includes having peace and happiness in your soul, a sense of fulfillment through connection and collaboration. These are key themes for this period of transition. I set out more recently in one of the articles I published on Medium, why is success so elusive? So back to today's structure. My intention is to take a few minutes to share my experiences, explaining how these may assist you recognize any barriers to you accelerating your life. Then to set out some of the approaches my clients and I use to create success and fulfillment in our lives. I will use some slides to help structure what I'm covering. Milo will include a link in the chat box so you can download these slides should you choose to do so. After that, I will answer questions you may have on what I have covered. And then we will move into a healing session for all on this summit. Its focus will be to address core beliefs you may have about success and allowing fulfillment into your life. In other words, what may be stopping you. And then for anyone who would like a personal session, Milo will open the audio to those who have indicated in the chat box they would like some help. This will be on a first come, first serve basis. Once we reach that point. Any questions, then please put them in the chat box, and Milo is here to help ensure that where he can. Okay, so who am I? Yes, I am a Brit, though I've lived in Portugal now for more than the last decade. My story really began when at the age of 7, I was hospitalized to have my tonsils removed. And whilst I was there, my mother came. She couldn't drive, but a friend brought her over. My father did not visit me in hospital. And why? Because I perceived he was so busy being a successful businessman that I thought to be a successful businessman was necessary for me to attract his love. And so that then guided my life. When I was coming to the end of university, I had the choice between finance and law. And I chose finance as the means by which I could become that successful businessman. Well, after many twists and turns, I helped grow a technology company. And that technology company appointed me as CEO, and I took it through 2 successful public flotations, and we were growing globally. We had exciting, many would view very successful opportunities in front of us. However, the passion was not in that purpose. Yes, I had fulfilled my purpose. I had become what, in my view, would be a successful businessman. However, that did not fulfill me. And what my body showed was more and more back pain. Back pain in terms of lower back pain, which eventually stopped me from driving, doing anything. And one day I was walking slowly, I must admit, over a walk we had out of the back of our house, up some hills, and I was watching the clouds move over. It had been raining, and there were big clouds with just a touch of darkness, and the sun was shining. And what was going through my head was passion or purpose, passion or purpose, passion or purpose. And when I finished my walk, I had decided to follow my passion. So I stepped away from my purpose. I left the company. I had no means of generating income, but that was less important to me than following my passion. And the way spirit works, and I enjoy the irony, I'm always smiling at the irony with which spirit works. A few years later, I was asked if I would like to visit Copenhagen, which I hadn't been to. And there I met the senior project team for a small Swedish retailer. And after we had had a meeting in Copenhagen, we went to the head office in Holland. And so for the next 10 years, I was working for IKEA. I think it was about 20 odd countries I visited, was working with IKEA, coaching the senior management. Now, the senior management could be within a store which has about $100 million business revenue, or it could be a region, or it could be a country. All I was seeking to help them look beyond the horizon, look beyond their store in that sense, to look outside and what was happening. How could they adjust what they were doing to grow the business, to be successful? And so my focus was to help them. However, it seems Spirit had a purpose in me visiting these 20-odd countries, for at each one there was something I was asked to do. And since arriving in Portugal, we have been hosting clients at our home, Quinta da Luz, as well as various locations around the world, which have included Copenhagen, where I've held, I think it's 2 or 3 events in previous years. To help you understand perhaps a little bit more about me and where I live and the views we have, I've made a video allowing you to see some of the scenery we enjoy every day. Milo will post the link to my YouTube channel in the chat box. I thought you would also enjoy seeing some views from the Serra, so I have used them as background on the slides I'm using. My reason being, each one has a link to looking beyond the horizon or to be in the flow of life. It also is a high energy spot. What is my passion? To help release you, me, and everyone from the barriers that stop us from living that successful, fulfilled life. And where do these barriers come from? What I've found is that strengthening my connection to my intuition has accelerated my life. I was mentioning only yesterday to some visitors how when Carolina and I were guided to move to Portugal, we only looked at one property. And when standing in what is now our kitchen, and having said we would buy it, I asked for confirmation of what was this life-changing choice. And it was a ruin, the house. It had no doors, no windows. There were trees growing up from inside. You couldn't even really see large parts of what was the garden. A few minutes later, Carolina came into the kitchen and came in from outside and asked us to come and view what's going on. And which we did. And in a blue sky such as today's, with hardly a cloud, there was a bright, clear rainbow shining over the Serra. I said thank you. And a year later we moved. It's not always been so simple. I've toyed with many more mental activities until I learned, often the hard way, through back pain or some other physical message, to align all my 4 bodies. Yes, I know there are other structures. However, to me, simplistically, we have the emotional, the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. And the most obvious source of messages is those our physical bodies send us. Which is why whenever I feel a tweak or a bang, I always ask myself, for what purpose? It has been the same with those who become ill. For what purpose have they contracted whatever it is? The most common answer I've received recently is to rest. To create space for the body to rest, recuperate, or simply adjust to the transition which is underway. For what most do not recognize is we are all energy. And so as the cosmos and Mother Earth energies adjust, so must we, or else we feel the resistance to the transition. Which is why listening to the messages from our body is the simplest means to accelerate our life. Often there is some trauma creating an emotional block, and the body wants to be rid of it, to be freed so it can evolve, which is the purpose of all souls. It is our paths to our own evolution which make us unique. However, often we block our path, not consciously, rather our unconscious mind, what I refer to our life card, does its purpose, which is to protect us. Only it does so based on the experiences we have had, most of which are not true. Rather, They are beliefs we have heard, seen, experienced, etc. Also, the body records every experience we have so it can learn from it. That's how it protects us. We can protect ourselves. Most of these we do not recall consciously, especially about 80% of these beliefs come from other lives or our own ancestral lineage. It is our beliefs which our unconscious mind uses when generating over 90% of our daily thoughts. We also pick up thoughts from others around us, hence why some believe most thoughts are not our own. And by that, we tend to mean our conscious thoughts. Our connection to all of these is through the unconscious mind, our life guide. So of approximately only 20% of the beliefs created in our current life, most we established in our imprint period, that is up to the age of 7. In the 7 Secrets, I refer to one client who had made a vow of poverty in another life, hence why she had difficulty generating sustainable income in this life. Others have established beliefs they are not worthy of success, income, or even being visible enough to enable them to attract clients. Earlier this week, I was with a client who had stepped away from the medical profession almost 2 years ago and had been unable/unwilling to take action on creating his passion to help those going through a burnout. And yes, he had had one. The belief stopping him was he must work hard as a doctor to be successful. That was the constraint. That was the identity he had established as a doctor. And so this was the boundary he could not cross or break out from. This we switched to allowing him to simply enjoy life. However, he chose to create it. It is helping bring forth the beauty of each person, which is my passion. It is my fun and joy. And to me, this is what we should all bring into our lives. What gives us fun and joy? From that, our alignment will then be with what the soul desires. So, do you want to create a successful and fulfilled life? It doesn't matter whether you want to create a business or not. It all comes from within you at the beginning. And so that's why it's both business and personal. Personal, or the business doesn't create without the personal balance in the first place. And so from that personal balance is how you create a successful and fulfilled life. And more particularly, and based on some of the comments I've seen both on Thursday and today, there is a sense that you have something more to life than maybe what you're doing at the moment. Even though you may be unclear about the direction your soul desires. Now, some of you, I know, have been connecting with your soul. Others may be not sure they've been connecting with their soul. Others may have just allowed the soul to connect with them rather than established a two-way communication channel. All of that access to your inner wisdom is essential to me to what is in this period that we're of transition that's unfolding. And so we all need that connection to our inner wisdom to help guide us. And I'll explain more about what is important as we go through the slides. So that's me. I've given you some examples of my background. And so my purpose in that sense is to guide the successful to find their why, and by accessing their inner wisdom. And that's really my focus. And that's a little picture of the 7 secrets to living in harmony. So, are you feeling frustrated by being held back from what you sense is possible? It's your sense that you have a calling. Each of us has a calling. Each of us is being asked to do something by our soul. And our soul is following through the purpose we incarnated to achieve, and that's to evolve. Now, evolution, as I said before, for each of us is different. And what it will usually mean is that we need to take a leap into the unknown, because by definition, a new era, we have not been here before. And so we are all stepping into the new. And that, for many, means that they are concerned, have anxiety, etc. Your new will only appear once you make that step. And so that's where you have the opportunity to create what it is you desire. But you need to choose, because this is a free will universe. So you need to choose, this is the step you're going to take. And so you might have that sense of purpose. It's much greater than what you are currently experiencing or have been doing, etc. That's your soul's message to you. There's a sense of what your soul will be likely to evolve through the experiences of whatever it is. And so one of the reasons for using this slide from the top of the Serra is to look beyond the horizon. We all need to look beyond the horizon. And that horizon is through these clouds. We cannot see what's the other side of the clouds. And therefore, do we choose to step beyond, or do we choose to remain sitting on this hilltop looking at the Serra? That's the choice. And so my suggestion is that looking beyond the horizon, each of us needs to make that choice to do so. And we do that by sitting not in a necessarily meditative state, but we sit in a place of peace and quiet. Ideally, I would say maybe in some nature. And then we choose that we are willing to step into the unknown. And rather, as I was talking about the doctor a few minutes ago, he had his identity of being a doctor, and he was willing then to step into, all I wish to achieve is enjoy life. So he was stepping beyond the horizon of his thought, which was, I just need to be the doctor. And so he was stepping out then into looking beyond the horizon, because it's identifying what is holding you back from looking beyond the horizon, which is the crucial element. If you just are afraid to look beyond the horizon, then you need to identify what it is that's holding you from doing so. Okay? And so, have you ever allowed yourself to feel into the flow of what your soul desires? Do you have a sense of what it is your soul is looking to evolve through? And as I've said, each of us has a unique path. That is what our soul desires us to evolve through experiences. That's what the soul does. Each experience adds another little piece to the evolutionary path. And so, have you allowed yourself to feel into what your soul is desiring? It will not come as a nicely typed message. It will come as a feeling. This is what I feel is appropriate for me. Or this is what and then you can ask some questions. And this is what I feel is not for me. And then that will help you define exactly what some actions to take. So the follow on from that is, what is your definition of success? Everybody has a different definition. Yes, as I said earlier, success for most people simplistically is I'm financially free, etc., etc. That is not necessarily the case. And so my suggestion is you sit down, peace and quiet, a couple of deep breaths, and then feel into what is your definition of success. And my suggestion is you write it down, because the very act of writing it down begins the process of creation. And so step one, you're defining what it is you are seeking in terms of success. And step two is then beginning the process of creating it for you by writing it down. And then you can ask some more questions if you so desire. What sort of steps is it best for me to take to bring that success definition into place? Okay, so my question to you would be, once you write down your definition of success, will it bring you joy? Will you allow fun to be part of creating it? Back to my joy and fun. So you can question your definition of success by saying, what joy and fun flows through it? What would be your part in creating it? Will it bring you joy? Will it allow fun to be part of what you're creating? And so that would be my first question. Because if there's no fun and joy, why are you creating that definition of success? Are you directing your life back to boundaries, or are you allowing others to direct it for you? And the others could be something you heard from your father. It could be something you just assumed in the way your education grew up, etc. There are a whole series of sources of the way in which we believe we should be leading our life. Back to my example of tonsillectomy and being the successful businessman. That was a belief I established, and therefore I could change it. And so that's why I question, what is it you are creating, why you are creating it, and are you directing your life the way you desire it, or are you allowing others to direct it for you? So these periods of transition provide the very best opportunity to create success and a life you truly love. This period of transition, particularly up to the end of April, and those are some of the planetary alignments, as I've said before, they are providing a wonderful supported period for planting the seeds for the way in which you desire your life to then grow. And so my suggestion is to use this period of transition to think through what it is you desire, and then allow that to unfold. The criteria will always be what fulfills your soul and its purpose to evolve. That's the core point. And so, is your soul enjoying the success definition you've put down and what it is you're seeking to create? That will enable you to see over the horizon. Because if you open your thought process to all possibilities rather than the restricted ones that you may have started with, then you're going to look over the horizon. You're going to see something beyond, as some of you put in the Thursday comment box. There are things you feel you would enjoy doing, therefore start them, do them. Is that the only ones? No, others will come along, but it's the process of initiating that acceleration, the creation of momentum, and then see how what unfolds. I come back to fun and joy. Use it as a guide to create balance and harmony in your life. If there's fun and joy, you will have balance and harmony, because that's what all of us are seeking to do. And this will ensure neither your business or your personal lives dominate the flow of your life. I'm sure we have all seen, I know I've been there. I allowed the business aspect to dominate my life, and yes, there was a personal life, but which came first? Whereas actually what we're seeking to do is to create the balance and harmony. Balance and harmony, back to divine feminine. What does the feminine like? It likes harmony, it likes collaboration, it likes working with others, etc. And so it's no longer a sole focus, it's more a collaborative effort. However, recognizing we have a boundary, because there will be always little points that can come up which might disrupt the flow of balance and harmony in our life. And so by allowing the balance and harmony to flow, then you allow yourself to enjoy the beauty life offers. And I'm phrasing it that way because some look upon life as a challenge. We are a victim of life. My suggestion is view it upon the beauty life offers you, the beauty that surrounds us in every moment, the beauty of nature, the beauty of the sky, whatever it may be. There is beauty, whether it's the design of your apartment, whether it's the design of something that's around you. There is a beauty, and we can see the beauty every day if we look through the eyes of this is beautiful rather than I am a victim, and therefore life is doing things to me. Whereas if you switch the mind, I am in control of my life, hence boundaries, and so I can then create the beauty that I desire around me. Just to repeat again, the seeds you choose to plant prior to the end of April 2022 will create your life for at least the next decade. And so it is those seeds that I am suggesting you focus on now to identify, and then plant, and then germinate, feed them, water them, do whatever it is you believe is necessary to bring them into full flower, because that's how you're going to create your life for at least the next decade. And that this is, I'm using this period, as I said before, because of the astrology and the support the cosmos is giving each of us at this moment. So it's just some final thoughts. Life does not know straight lines. Here at the Quinta, all the paths, all the flower beds, etc., are not straight. They take you on a wander, because water doesn't flow in straight lines. It flows, it goes around bends, the whole thing. And that's how energy flows. It does not flow in straight lines. It flows. And so recognize that your life does not go in a straight line. It flows. And that the belief success comes from working long and hard hours appears during the Industrial Revolution. That is now the old era. So what is the definition you have for the success you desire in your life now? 2022 offers us the opportunities of new ventures and growth. And those are being supported by the actions we choose to take. Do you need to have a 100-page business plan setting out what you're doing? No. You just need to sit quietly and view, feel, and sense what it is you desire to achieve. And so that's how you initiate the new. This is the being in the new era. This is where you create the leader for tomorrow, for yourself. You don't do it with the detailed plan, because the plan is out of date as soon as it's written. You feel into it and allow yourself to change. Yes, there are how-tos that need to be taken. There are actions that need to be taken, inspired actions that will help create, but they follow on. Because we are all being asked to embody who we really are. To do that means we need to understand who we really are. And so once we understand that, that's where we can identify what gives our soul fun and joy, what gives us fun and joy, what will create our definition of success, come from our own values. We are all unique. And part of this phase is not following what has been in the past. It's creating the new for ourselves. And so what I'm suggesting is you need to restructure your life as to why you're here, to understand that. And then you embody the connections of who you truly are in all aspects of your life. And that means following your inner wisdom, knowing who you are. And success is not about hard work. Rather, it's being aligned with your soul's desire to evolve beyond the horizon, stepping into the new. We don't evolve by continuing to do the same. We evolve through stepping into the new. And an inner sense of peace is needed to create your fulfilled life. So my question to you is, what do you desire? Have you set down what it is you desire from your life? And that's not old model, that's new model. What's the new paradigm you have for your life? And then how do you go about creating it? Okay, so let's get rid of that. Right, I have promised a general healing, so that's what we will do. So if everybody would like to just settle down, center themselves, allow whatever tears to flow, and more particularly the smiles to appear. And now feel into your body. Feel any part of your body that is not comfortable with success and leading a fulfilled life. Allow yourself to feel it, to accept it, and to know it. And now allow it to move down through your body, down through your legs, down through your feet, into Mother Earth for recycling. Allow it to continue to flow down, to leave you completely and unconditionally. It is now gone. You are free to lead a successful and fulfilled life without any limitation or restriction. And now open your crown chakra and allow the Creator and your higher guide and your higher self to upgrade your whole being with the success and fulfillment that is your personal right. And allow that to flow into your being completely and unconditionally. And as it flows into your being, spread it around your body, down the arms, down through the torso, down through the legs, so it becomes completely and unconditionally part of your being, every part of your being. Allow that energy to flow. Feel it, know it, sense it. Allow it to fill the space you have vacated. And to be complete and confident in how you lead your life from this moment. This energy is going to continue to flow into you, upgrading you for at least the next 24 hours. So just allow it to happen. If you feel the need for more rest, then please take it. If you feel the need to enjoy the sunshine in Denmark, please enjoy it. If you need the desire to be in nature, enjoy it. Just be present with yourself and allow whatever the energy wants to do it. Okay. That's it.